What's going on? I hope you all are good. I'm sure many of you have heard the theory of Darth Jar Jar. Most of the fans thought it was just a theory and that it was just fans creating theories just to have fun, you know, speculate a little bit. But in reality, this was really going to be a thing, and George Lucas actually intended Jar Jar to be a Sith Lord. Let's watch this video and dive into the mindset that George Lucas really had towards Jar Jar.
The classic mythological motif that goes through a lot of stories through history is that the key mystical character is an animal by the side of the road that seems very insignificant, that when the hero comes past, he's kind to. Where most people pass that creature by, they ignore him or they belittle him or cast aspersions upon him, the hero is kind to him. And by being kind to him, the hero gets the magic that the character on the side of the road has. And in this case, I was playing that motif more literally than I had in the first film. It's kind of what Obi-Wan Kenobi is in the first film, as the old wizard. But here, it's much more the magical frog, so to speak.
So from what George said in that video, there is definitely a pattern in the way he writes his movies, and like he said before, his movies have to rhyme. He makes sure his movies rhyme with each other so that they flow smoothly into each other. I mean, this is what Disney should have followed, but they didn't do that. The pattern here is that there's a strong Jedi that come across a weird being that nobody in the universe respects whatsoever, but they're the first to respect them and be kind to them. So with that respect and kindness, they were able to utilize that character's abilities and talents for the greater good and to get where they need to go in the story. Of course, in that video, George was talking about Yoda, but considering what he said, and after watching the prequel movies, you can see the direct similarities towards the role of Jar Jar and the role of Yoda in their movies, because George Lucas originally decided to have Jar Jar turn out to be a bad guy instead of a good guy like Obi-Wan was when Luke met him in the first movie. Obi-Wan was a great being on the good side. Yoda was also a great being on the good side. In their movies, it silently shows that if you're a nice, respectful person to everybody, even to the people who don't receive kindness from anyone else, if you don't be a sheep and follow the herd and create your own opinion on a person, then good things can come from it, and you can get benefits that other people cannot, aka the power and training of Yoda and the power and training of Ben Kenobi. I believe that's also a subtle meaning to the dynamic between Luke and Ben and Luke and Yoda. But in the prequel movies, George Lucas decided to flip that on its head, and instead of the characters like Obi-Wan and Yoda being the good guys, Jar Jar would instead turn out to be a bad guy, and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon siding with him and giving him a chance would end up being a huge mistake. And what's crazy about this is that sources close to George Lucas have come out and said that his plan for Jar Jar was for him to be revealed as the third Sith Lord in the second prequel movie. But because of the backlash that Jar Jar received after the first movie by fans was negative, he decided to not make Jar Jar a Sith Lord and reduced his roles in the upcoming movies. If this single plotline happened, the rest of the prequel movies would have turned out so much differently. I personally think that this would have been very interesting and very dark and creepy to see, considering how nice and goofy Jar Jar was. You'd never see it coming, and then it will make you rewatch the first film and look at it in a totally different light. And honestly, it would make the first film seem less childish, or even more specifically, it would have made the character of Jar Jar look less immature, therefore giving the movie a dark theme whenever you watch it from then on. After seeing the second movie, where Jar Jar comes out as a Sith Lord, I think it would have been very interesting to see, but I'm happy how the movies turned out because I love them all very much. The prequels are amazing, just like the originals. But yeah, George Lucas actually planned to do this with Jar Jar. Let us know your opinion down below. How do you think about this? Would you have liked to see this in the movies, or do you like the movies how they are? Let us know down below, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
We actually get to go and... Oh, wow! This is where Luke got frozen. No, this is where Han got frozen. Oh, this is cool. What happens if I jump in there? Do I die? Guess we'll never know. Vader, get out. Let's fight. Let's fight, Vader. Come on. This is sad, but you're gonna go out like this. One bullet left, and you're dead. Come on, you're better than this. Come on, give me a real fight. Come on. Okay, B is to dodge. Okay, get used to it again. That's the block. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Okay, he's better with this dude.
Ugh.